Hello and welcome. Welcome to, I think it's our fourth Vibrant Life conversation. And this evening, I'm very, very fortunate to be joined by a lady I met some months ago. And as I explained in my little video this morning on a coaching course, and she is joining us today from, the name of the place is Victoria in British Columbia in Canada. And her name is Maria Koropecky. And Maria Koropecky is a creative writing coach, which is how we met really, because she was on a coaching course. She's an author, a writer, a storyteller, and most especially, the thing we're going to be focusing on a lot today, a crystal mapper. Maria's been a coach since 2015, so that's 6 years now. And recently she had an article published in a magazine called Brains. I don't know Brains magazine, so I'll ask her about that. It's not a magazine I'm familiar with. You can find her on Facebook. You can find her on LinkedIn. And at the end of this interview, when I post this to Facebook, I will put in the comments underneath her Facebook and everything. So and her website, so that if you want to look her up, find out a little bit more about her work, you can. We were just talking actually before we came on live, and I was asking Maria about the work she's already written. She's written an ebook called Creating Wellness, which is on Amazon, and she's written a novel called The Call of Lapis Lazuli, which is a prequel to a trilogy that she's currently writing. And the trilogy is a trilogy, obviously, of books based on her life, but they're novels. So the Call of the Lapis Lazuli was written a few years ago, and that's the prequel. She's also apparently submitted a chapter in a book that was co-authored by several authors called Raising the Bar, that went on to be a bestseller. So that's pretty damn good. So let me welcome and introduce to you Maria Koropecky. Maria, thank you so much. I'm really pleased to be talking to you today. And before we talk about your crystal mapping, which was the thing that first grabbed my attention, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Obviously, I've introduced you roughly, but just tell us a little bit about your work and also the way that you have brought this marvelous tool into your coaching work.
Oh, wow. Oh, so beautiful. Thank you so much, Elizabeth, for inviting me here today. I am especially excited that your black cat is with us because I love black cats. And so this is really beautiful. I'm happy to be here. Let's see. So I think you covered all the bases with your introduction.
Mm-hmm.
And I mostly am going to talk about right at the beginning about crystals. Because when I got my coaching certification, I was looking for ways to connect to potential clients.
Mm-hmm.
And I was at the time very interested in crystals and still am, but it was a new love that was emerging.
Mm-hmm.
And one day I was looking at my jewelry boxes and in my um, drawers and all these things, and I kept on finding these rocks and pieces of jewelry that my father had given me. And I was like, wow, there's so much here. And then I started learning that they have meanings. The different crystals and the gemstones have meanings. And so somehow I put it together that I would do these crystal readings for people based on maybe they had a piece of jewelry that they really loved and to discover the significance around it. Or maybe they just like to collect rocks like I do on the beach.
Yes.
And so so it was a way to spark conversation.
Brilliant
And
idea. Mm.
yeah, and so then I happened upon a course through Hay House. It was a crystal reader course, and I thought, perfect. And so I joined the course, and it was great. It taught me all about the different crystals, their formations, their shapes, where they come from. But they didn't actually teach me how to do a reading.
Oh,
So I thought, oh, how am I going to do this?
yeah.
So I had to download it myself, and that's what I did. So I came up with a crystal map.
You say I had to download it myself. Just
Yeah,
explain what you mean by that.
yeah, I had to create it myself from my own imagination. And
Mhm.
so I feel like I downloaded the idea from the ethers.
Yes, yes. And how long ago was that?
That would have been in 2016, 2017,
Mm.
somewhere in there.
Now, obviously, I've been fortunate enough to have a crystal mapping set. Do you call it a session or a reading, or how do you refer to it?
A session, crystal
Session.
mapping session. Yeah.
And I was fascinated that you actually have a map,
Yeah.
and it happens to be a map of Italy.
Yes.
So, how did that come about? What's the connection with Italy?
Yes. Um, so I thought about all the places that I could use,
Mhm.
and then I remembered the phrase "all roads lead to Rome."
Yes, yes. Yeah, that makes complete sense because really, I suppose, in not just in a crystal mapping session, but in your extended work with a client, that's exactly what you're trying to do, isn't it? To get to the heart of the issue, and you can come at it from different ways. That makes complete sense. Absolute complete sense, yes.
Yeah.
So it's a way in. Do you use it with all your clients?
Um, Not necessarily,
Mhm.
but I find that people are open and curious about it.
I bet.
Um, yeah, so I do introduce it, and like at first I was really hesitant. They're going to think, "Oh, I'm crazy. What's this crystal mapping?" Da da da.
Yeah.
Uh, but I've once I say that a crystal mapping session is heart to heart conversation where we figure out where you are and where you want to go next using the wisdom of crystals. And then I say, I give you a map, and then we have a conversation, and you choose 3 crystals from the map, and then we'll weave back those crystals into our conversations. And it's amazing how they match up. And
Yeah.
so once people get a sort of sense of it, they're like, yeah, I'd like to try it. And I've had a range of people that I wouldn't expect to do it with me, like really like just last week I spoke with a man who is very masculine, very you know you know uh, a go-getter type, and and just to see his face at the end of the reading, he was delighted.
Wow.
It was amazing.
It's incredible. Yeah, I loved it. Obviously, we did it as a standalone session, but
Yeah.
I can, because I love crystals, as you know, and I can really see how that would perhaps enable you to connect with your client on a totally different level.
Yeah.
And also open, sorry, I've got cat hairs in my mouth. Also open them up and perhaps take the coaching in a different direction.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's more affirming. Like it affirms for people that they're on the right track,
Mm.
that they're meant to be living their dreams, that
Yes. Yeah.
it gives them a vision, and it makes them feel like it's it's there for them already. instead of some sort of a pipe dream somewhere off in the distance. And it's very positive, and encouraging for people.
So just explain the process so that the people understand. If I were coming to you and I was having a coaching session and you suggested it. So at the beginning of this session, what would you suggest I do? Do I have to think about something and choose? Just explain how that works.
Yeah. So if you were to come into the session, I would ask you, we could talk about whatever you like. And sometimes people are quick to have something on the top of their head that they want to talk about, and other people don't.
Right.
And so if you're someone who needs a little bit of warming up, to come up with a topic, then think about it ahead of time. And so we could talk about health, we could talk about relationships, we can talk about business, we can talk about travel plans, writing, whatever. And so it's up to you. And then it's about just expressing your vision so that you know where you're going, what you're doing. I find that having clarity is so important, because once you have clarity about where you're going, then it's really easy to make decisions. Like, this decision will take me on this path, or this choice will take me off the path. So it really helps you focus towards what you want to create. And
Would you say that because the people you work with are either writers already or people who are wanting to write and they just feel blocked, would you say that the reading itself perhaps helps to unblock something? Yeah.
Yes, it helps people see things that they would not have seen before, as options. And oh, I hadn't thought of that. Oh yeah. So it definitely it's to me, it's just mind-blowing. Sometimes it works every time. It works a charm. But there are times when it's just like, wow, how did they pick those? How did they know? And it's all by intuition. It's all listening to your own guidance. And
I remember when you did the session with me, you showed me the map, and that has, from memory, it has, I think they're photographs of crystals on, aren't they? When you held that up to me, when you showed it to me, I thought you'd photographed the map with the crystals on.
Yes.
Sorry, that's what I meant. I didn't explain it very well. But you actually physically have the crystals as well, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
And
so, do you find sometimes that afterwards the client says, just remind me, I want to write that down, I want to get those crystals?
I've had that. People have like finished our conversation and raced off to Amazon and ordered their own crystals.
Because they perhaps want to continue working with them.
Yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's it opens up a world to people. And they maybe have like a secret, like rock collection or something, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I think I have a rose quartz somewhere, and it's like it's been in my bedside table desk drawer like all this time, and I'm like, take it out.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I suppose also, if they are one of those people who might go out and buy them,
Yeah.
when they're then sitting at their desk or wherever they sit to write their novel or whatever it is they're writing, if they've got those crystals with them,
Yeah.
those crystals can become their writing companions,
Yeah.
their inspiration, their
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Mm,
It's like uh reminder,
yes. Yes.
this is what you want, this is what you're going for. The crystals are
Mm,
there to simply say, oh, we're still, let's keep going. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I have, yeah, tons of them. Like I have a little bowl here, um on my desk, um
Oh yes.
of little,
Yes.
I've got like a piece of soap,
I was
and
thinking,
also
is that soap in there?
yeah, and these crystals.
Mm,
So all of like the different colors from the chakras. So
mm.
yeah, to help me balance. Yeah.
Even your website is called Amalite Wellness Coaching. And
Yeah.
when I first saw that, I thought, Amalite, I'm not familiar with that, but it reminds me of ammonite, which is, of course, a fossil. So I went on your website, saw the thing, and Googled it. And of course, amylites are stunning. I've seen them. Are they opalized? I can't remember if they're opalized.
Yeah.
Amylites. They are
Yes.
breathtaking, aren't they?
They are. They are amazing
Mm,
because they're rare in the sense that yes, they are fossils,
mhm,
and yes, they are crystals.
mm.
So they inhabit both those realms, which is pretty amazing to me. They're ancient. They're many thousands of years old,
Mm.
and they are, in the sense, they're opal opalesque, I guess, in
Yes.
the sense that they do have the shimmer and the
Mm,
flash. They come in a rainbow. You can have a whole rainbow in one
yeah.
piece,
Mm.
and it's considered a feng shui stone.
Oh, that I didn't.
It- and it clears all the energy,
Right.
and it's very, very powerful.
Yeah, I bet.
Um, and it's found uh, in Alberta, so the next province over from British Columbia,
Mhm.
just on the edge of the Rocky Mountains.
Is that the only place in the world that they're found?
I believe so.
Wow. Because they certainly haven't been around on our markets for that long. Trying to think when I very first came across them, it definitely wasn't 10 years ago. It was less than that, but I can't
Mm,
remember precisely.
yeah,
Um, yeah, I was absolutely flabbergasted when I saw them. So you're right, they are
yeah,
rare and they're very beautiful. So
yeah,
that's what you chose as your logo and the name of your website, which once again brings together the love of crystals and your coaching business. Yeah.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I would, if you don't mind, love to hear. Do you want to share a little bit about the novels, the trilogy
Mm.
that you're writing, or is it a secret?
Oh, it's not a secret.
Okay.
Thanks. Yeah. So, uh, writing has been my first talent,
Mm,
and I have always wanted to write a book, and somehow, even though I did a lot of writing here and there, I never was serious about writing a book.
mm,
And it wasn't until my 50th birthday in 2019 that my family gave me this gift of going to Spain to walk the Camino. And it was um, very spiritual for me.
I'm sure.
And so there I was. So I went to Spain in September of 2019 on my own. with my backpack.
That's a long
And
way for you as well.
yeah, it
For us,
was,
not,
yeah,
for us, not
yeah,
so far, but for you, that's
yeah.
a massive undertaking.
It was quite like with layovers and everything, and it was
Mm,
took a day just to get to Spain.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and so there I was on an adventure of a lifetime. Um, and I wasn't thinking about writing a novel.
Mm,
Um, if I had been, I would have paid more attention. But I also feel like um, things would not have unfolded as they did if I was.
no.
And so it worked out. But anyway, so I was on a 10-day journey walking, and enjoying it on one level, but like it was challenging.
I'm sure.
So it was
Yeah.
a mix. Yeah.
It's no walk in the park, is it?
No, but it's yeah, but it is walk in nature. Anyway, so on the second to the last day, I had this. I was in this town and I was looking for a place to sleep, and they have what they call albergues, which are hostels
Mm.
set up so that you can stay overnight for a very low rate.
Is that's specifically for the pilgrims, isn't it?
Yeah.
Has it got the little shell on it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Ah,
So, and they have guidebooks, and they, and it should be easy enough to find
mm.
on your route. Um, but anyway, so I was on the second to the last night, and every night I would find my albergue a different way. I didn't have a system. A lot of people did, but I didn't.
Oh, so you don't have to book.
No, not necessarily. You could play it by ear, but that's risky.
Mm.
So on the second to the last night, I felt like my luck was running out, and things were getting more crowded as we headed closer to Santiago de Compostela, and I was like, "Ugh." And people were saying, "Oh, all the albergues are full," and I was like, "What do you mean they're full?" And they were like, "Just knock on doors," and I was like, I can't knock on doors,
No.
and I was like, can you call ahead to the next town? And they did, and they said they're full, and I was like, I'm not going to walk another 3 kilometers or 5 kilometers or anything today. Like I couldn't for the life of me. I and so I was walking up and down the street of this town, and I just lost it. I just had a meltdown right there. I was like, what am I supposed to do? And burst into tears. And then all of a sudden, friends that I had made on my journey appeared across the street and called out to me in that very moment where I'm like,
Wow.
and so they're like, Maria, Maria. And I'm like, "Ah." And they're like, Maria, Maria, what's wrong? And I'm like, there's no place to stay. There's nowhere to go. Do you have a place to stay? They're like, no, we don't have a place to stay. I'm like, oh, no. Don't worry, tranquila, tranquila. And so they got out their phones and found a place in a minute. And so the three of us ended up staying together, and then we finished our caminos together. And I thought there's no way I could have planned that, the way things all came together like that. So I thought, this is a book.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And so so when I came home, I immediately wrote like my notes. Like this is where I stayed, this is where I was, da 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 da. And then I started writing, and I dug out that prequel, The Call of the Lapis Lazuli, and I
Right.
used that as my prologue.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And so then I started writing and writing and writing, and within 6 months I had over 300 pages. And then I thought, I'm not even near done. So that's when I decided to turn it into a trilogy.
Okay, so that you didn't start out with the plan. No.
Right, right.
Now, if you'd have done yourself a crystal mapping, you'd have had a plan.
But that's the beauty of it, is the crystal mapping is very much like a Camino. Like it's a path. It's a spiritual path.
Yeah. That's a beautiful way of putting it. Mm.
Yeah, and you have to trust.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So how far along are you? You've written 300 pages. Is that the first book written then?
Yeah, so I've written the first book in draft,
Mm.
and um, I am now I am now reworking the draft. So and have started the second book.
Right.
And I hope to publish the book in August, the first book. And it has adventure, it has spirituality, it has crystals, it has
Good.
travel, all these things.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's wonderful. Well, when you are published, you must definitely let me know, and I will, of course, put it out to the group so that we can find your book, which I presume will be on Amazon.
Yes.
Will it be available in a book format or just ebook format, do you think?
I will initially publish it as an ebook, and then I will turn it into print, and then I will also record an audio version.
Lovely idea. Yes, because a lot of people enjoy listening to Audible, don't they?
Yeah.
A lot of people do.
Yeah. So, and my photographer, I had a photo shoot booked at the end of last year, and I was getting pictures, for headshots, and telling him about this book, and he's like, "You have to do an audio." He's like insisting on it. I'm like, okay.
Great idea. Really good idea. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just going back a wee bit to the crystal mapping, do you by any chance have with you a picture you can show of your map? Do you have one there in your office?
Yes, I do. It's here.
Ah, yes. Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Where would you? I love that you've got up there. Where would you like to go?
Yeah. Oh, that's my arrow. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you find that certain crystals, therefore certain themes, if you like, come up more often than others?
Yeah. People are definitely drawn to some crystals more than others. Yeah.
And would you say that that's possibly because the people you are having as clients are creative people who either are writing or want to write, therefore perhaps they have similar blocks or hang-ups or questions or
it's it's interesting. I was just looking at my map, but it's interesting how the crystals that they choose are tell me a lot about the person, and they do have themes, and there are similarities, but I don't do any guessing ahead of time or anything. Like I don't think, oh, they'll probably pick such and such or such and such. I completely forget that until they do pick them, and I'm like, okay. Yeah, and it's and I'm learning as I go too. And with each reading, um, I have uh, a, a general thing that I say consistently
Yeah.
with each crystal.
Mm.
But then, but what I do is I also hold it in my hand and see if it has any other messages. I learned this technique from a friend of mine who did a course a long time ago with Shirley MacLaine.
Really?
Yeah, and she,
Shirley MacLaine taught courses.
yeah,
Oh my goodness. I mean, I know sorry, we digress, but I know she's an incredibly spiritual, amazing and interesting woman, but oh, so she ran courses.
yeah, and so what she suggested was if you um, hold the crystal in your hand, and usually your left hand is your receiving hand,
Mhm.
and you tune into it, in your mind's eye, picture yourself in it, inside it.
Yourself in the crystal.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then ask what it has to say. Then then you can get some like extra
Mm.
information specific to that person. And then I find that I'm like, oh yeah, that's good, and then I carry that forward to the next person as well.
Mm.
So it builds on itself. It's always new and evolving and alive. Because to
Mm.
me, the crystals are alive. They're like holding the universe in your hands.
I couldn't agree with you more. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
They're not just lumps of rock.
No.
They are, in my opinion, beings with
Yes.
with I was going to say then, I was going to use the word soul or spirit. I'm not sure if I'm correct in that. I certainly personally believe that there are elementals elementals who are actually, yes, I do believe. Yes, elementals and the beings are within the crystal. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Anyway,
I
that's a soul, a spirit, isn't it?
Yeah, and sometimes you can even see their faces in the crystals. Like if you study the swirls and so forth, you could see um, um, formations
Yes. Yes.
that are like, hmm. I see those. I see that in malachite very strongly.
Yes, I can imagine. Yes, because of the
Yeah,
lovely darker green whirls on it. Yes,
yeah. So and it's like this is the character.
of it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
I see things more in a clear quartz crystal
Hmm.
because as you turn it and the light catches all the prisms inside, you see all kinds of little worlds or faces or
Yeah,
figures or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah,
But I had never thought, and that's a really interesting thing you've just said, that if you're seeing a little face in there, that you're actually seeing the face of the being, the elemental, the whatever,
yeah,
the
yeah,
essence of that crystal. That's I'll have to, yeah, I shall look at mine with
yeah,
fresh eyes.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah,
No, that's a really interesting way of looking at them. And when you began creating your map, excuse me, how did you decide which crystals to include?
yeah. I had a collection
Mm.
already of quite a few crystals, and I came up with the number of 44 because um, I understood that like some tarot decks have 44 cards, so I thought, well, that's a good number.
Yep, yep.
Plus, uh, 44 is is an angel number that means that there are angels that are everywhere, they're all around you. So I thought it was a really good number.
Wow.
And then I picked the ones that were roughly the same size.
Mhm.
And I found this we have this old 50-year-old road atlas in my family. It's this huge book.
Oh, lovely.
So
Yeah.
I was like, okay. So I found Italy. I took my crystals and I just went like, I didn't think about it. It was like fast, fast, fast. And I was like, put them there. And I was like, okay. And then I was like, and then I took a picture, like I stood up and I took a picture in sunlight to get the most natural light.
Uh-huh.
And I put there's a cat here.
Hang on.
There's a
There's a
cat.
what?
A cat. Right. No, wait. There. See it?
That's in the sea. I can't see a cat.
Oh, it's a
Um,
face. It's a face of a cat. Right there.
No.
You see it?
Yes, I do now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. I do. Yes.
And,
Sorry.
and so that was my, like, I put that there as like a starting point. I thought, oh, we have to start somewhere if someone's and so that's what the cats are represented. But if I were to do one again, I wouldn't have put the cat there because it doesn't really make any sense now. But and so what I did was, so I took the picture and then I thought, well, how would people know which ones they're talking about? How would I know which ones, and so forth? So then when I turned I inserted numbers next to the crystals.
Yeah.
And that was so that was like an afterthought. So in which case I wouldn't need the cat, like, so that's why that cat's there. But it's kind of like it's a nice little
You love
detail.
cats. That's
Yeah.
fine.
But
They're
yeah, so
lucky.
yeah. And so yeah, so people can easily choose, like they're talking about this one, they could talk about where the crystals are on the map. I had one gentleman, he lives in Italy, and so he knew exactly what the map was, and he's like, okay, I don't want to go here, and I want to go here, and I don't want to go here, and so that's how he chose his.
Yes. So it gave that another dimension.
Yeah, but then there are also but you could choose color, you can choose shape, you can choose all or like some people recognize some, like they're like, oh yeah, that's amethyst, so I'll pick amethyst or whatever. So it all depends.
Some people might
Yeah.
also, I guess, be drawn to numbers in the same way that
Yeah.
when they choose lottery numbers.
Yeah.
Or they have a lucky number.
Yeah.
Yes.
I had one woman choose based on her children's birthdays.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a very visual person. So for me, I remember when you showed it to me, it was, I just went with my gut with the ones that were sort of shouting, going, me, visually. So it had nothing to do with the numbers for me or where they were located. But yeah, that's just the way that I'm drawn to things anyway. So yes, it can be used in so many ways, can't it?
Yeah.
It's just lovely.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. And I'm excited because I am now offering a crystal mapping certification course.
You've done that. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, well, tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah. So if you want to learn how to do these crystal mapping sessions for you and your clients, then let's talk. Yeah.
Excellent. So I'm in for a start.
All right. Yay.
I'm in. But for anybody else, how would they find out information about this?
Well, you can contact me through LinkedIn or Facebook. and just say, yeah, I'm interested in the crystal mapping certification course. And we could book a time to chat, and I could tell you more all about it and what's involved, and what you will receive from the course, and
Oh,
and
that's
answer any
fantastic. I
questions.
didn't know
Yeah,
that. So
yeah.
will you offer it, will it be purely online written, or will it be through Zoom? How will it work?
It'll be on Zoom in a group, and it's starting soon. And the first one is starting soon, and then there's a classroom that I have set up with all the like extra like videos and meditations and scripts and so forth that you can use. And then throughout the course, we will create a crystal map, a new one for people to
So
use.
each person will create their own crystal map. I love that. I didn't know this. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
How, part of me thinks, that's wonderful, but then it's no longer Maria Koropecky who's the only person in the world who does this. But on the other hand, that's wonderful because it's your baby and you're taking it out into the world.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, I must just have a sip of water. So how long will the course be? How long? Yeah,
it's going to be 10 sessions over 12 weeks.
Right, good.
And it will be evergreen. So like, we will have a group that will go through the course together, and then I will offer it again later on for another groups.
Yes. Makes sense. So for people to find you on Facebook, they just find you as Maria Koropecky, not as Amalite Wellness Coaching.
Yeah, right. I do have a page on Facebook called Amalite Wellness Coaching, though I am not very active there at all.
But this information will be on your Maria Koropecky.
Well, I prefer actually LinkedIn.
Pardon?
I prefer LinkedIn. If people were to reach me on LinkedIn, that would be much, much better.
And on LinkedIn, they find you as Maria Koropecky, don't they, to find out about this course?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, if people listening to this don't use LinkedIn, they could email you, I guess.
Yes.
And your email address, remind me.
It's Maria@AmaliteWellnessCoaching.com.
At AmaliteCoaching.com. So that's practically the same as your website. So it's Maria@AmaliteCoaching.com.
Amalite Wellness Coaching.
Oh, wellness, sorry. Wellness coaching. Yes, of course. Yeah. Because some people might use LinkedIn, but
yeah, you're right. Yeah.
Oh, and that is just the best news. I honestly didn't know you were offering this as a course now.
I'm so happy.
What occurred to me though was when we last spoke through Zoom, you showed me a deck of beautiful cards.
Yeah.
Now, they were cards that you hadn't designed those, you bought those.
Right.
They were fabulous pictures. But when you were talking about the mapping a few minutes ago, what was going through my mind was that perhaps you should or could at some point in the future create a card deck.
Oh.
I don't know.
Yeah, that would be amazing. That would be
just another thing to add to your to-do list.
Yeah, so up my alley.
Yeah. You got the course. Oh, you can also do a pack of cards.
Yeah, I would like to do that, of course. Yes, sure. Yeah, but it's definitely, I've got so many ideas, and it's just a matter of me doing them.
Yes.
So I'm happy to share what I know, about crystals and spirituality and living your life purpose and writing and creativity, all that's what I'm all about. And I just wanted just to to share as much as I can with whoever's most interested.
That's one thing that struck me ever since I first met you. You are very sharing. I liked the I'm trying to remember what the lightning round I did with you.
Oh yeah,
That was fun.
yeah,
And well, just say, I mean, you run quite a few things for writers, don't you?
yeah,
So the lightning rounds, what's the thing you do on a Wednesday?
yeah. So lightning rounds are creative writing games to spark creativity.
Mm.
And we had so much fun. I loved that.
It is good fun.
It was like, if you're stuck and you're feeling like you don't know what to do next, um, here's a game. Here's what we can do. We could use Scrabble. We can use writing prompts. We can do wordplay, and all of a sudden, it's like it's electric.
Mm.
Yeah, we could use crystals.
Mm.
And my favorite activity that we did in my Clear 22 Writers Blocks Facebook group was I asked the question of if you were to name a character based on food, uh, what would you name them? Do you remember your
Yes,
answer?
yes, I do. Yes, I do. That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah, people got very creative with that. I can't remember what I wrote now.
Uh, Something about herbs or flowers.
Yes, I think I went off into flights of fantasy. That's right. Yes, it did get a bit. I think I posted several, and I got a bit more silly with all of them. Yes, but you're right. But that's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
It sparked something.
Yeah. Yeah.
And opens the creativity.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, because that's what we're here to do, I feel,
Mm.
as living beings, um is to create.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Because really everything around, I mean, the planet is evolving, the
Yeah.
universe is
Yeah.
evolving, and
Yeah.
everything is expanding outwards. And you're right, we're here to create in whatever
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. As participants in the universe that is creative and expansive, um, and transformational.
Mm.
And I like several years ago, I read Eckhart Tolle's A New Earth. And in the first chapter, he talks about the moment on Earth when flowers first bloomed. And it was like this evolutionary leap,
Yeah.
that they were able to do that. And then he talks about crystals and how they were rocks first, minerals, um,
Yes.
and then through time, pressure,
Mm.
and heat,
Mm.
somehow these solid rocks can then become translucent.
Mm.
Like diamonds are coal and
Yes,
then
they
become
are all
diamonds.
carbon. Yeah.
And so if rocks can have a transformation to become crystals,
Mm.
then it stands to reason that people can also have a transformation and become enlightened.
Yeah. I think, I mean, that is a very, very relevant subject at the moment, in that I personally believe that we are going through a spiritual transformation and an evolutionary leap, and that we are evolving from a 3D world to a 5D. And I remember many years ago, Carolyn Mace
Mm,
said that we were evolving from Homo sapien into what she referred to as Homo noeticus, who we would be beings that had many more senses than just our five senses plus our sixth sense. So yes, she was talking then about this evolutionary leap. And I mean, there are a lot of people now talking about how the light that's bombarding the earth at the moment, the photons and everything that's happening is making changes within the human body, and we're actually becoming crystalline beings.
Oh,
So yeah, I agree with you. We are here to create and to evolve, and yeah.
that's amazing. I didn't know that Caroline had Mace had been talking about that, because she was a real like I read Sacred Contracts many years ago, which really informed
Yes.
how I view things. So yeah, so good.
I like
Oh, that's so cool.
a lot. I remember back in the day, it was probably in the 80s, 90s, I don't know, when we still had little cassette tapes,
Uh-huh.
and you'd have a cassette player in your car. If I was going on a journey, I would definitely listen to Carolyn Mace.
Yeah.
Why People Don't Heal, all kinds of things. And then a few years ago, not that many years ago, maybe 6, maybe longer, she partnered with another of my favorite women, Clarissa Pinkola Estes, and they had a conversation together, because of course they both come from different perspectives. Are you familiar with Krista?
No.
You would love her, Clarissa Pinkola Estes.
Okay.
She is a cantandore. She is from, where is she from? Mexico. She is she writes stories. Women Who Ran with the Wolves, Women Who Ran with the Wolves is her most well-known book.
Okay.
And she talks about mythology, and her voice is like liquid honey.
Oh.
She's the most fabulous storyteller.
Oh.
Yeah, you must
Yeah.
Clarissa
Okay.
Pinkola Estes. So yes, she and Carolyn Mace on one particular audio were in conversation about, the spirituality and so on, from different perspectives and so on. But it was lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Oh, just like us right now.
Yes, just like us right now. I have so enjoyed this, and I'm so thrilled to hear about your course. And yes, I will definitely be wanting to do that.
Yay!
It's just fabulous.
Oh, wonderful. Oh, I would love to have you. Yeah, yeah.
I've in the past, I mean, when many years ago, I have tried to do readings with crystals, and I've tried all sorts of different ways. And I've never really got that far with it. I do and can do readings with ribbons, but yes, I definitely want to learn the crystal mapping. So.
Oh, super. Yay, yay.
Oh, Maria, what time is it for you now? Getting on for 11 in the morning?
Yes.
So you've got a day ahead of you of clients or writing. Is today a writing day or a client day?
It's all of those.
All together.
Yeah. It's a big I'm planning. I'm doing a lot of forward thinking today, so it's a good day. It's a good way to start the week, especially talking with you. Yeah.
Well, you need a crystal in your hand.
Yeah, I do.
Thank you so much. I have really enjoyed this. And yes, it's the close of our day. It's now almost 7 in the evening, so we're at opposite ends.
Yeah.
Opposite ends of the day. But thank you. It's been an absolute delight. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Thank you, Maria.
Thank you. And let's talk soon.
Bye.
Okay, bye.